the necessity and direction of grace. In our last session, I discussed how salvation is the beginning of a relationship with God, and for this relationship to commence, one must first recognize their sinfulness before God and desire a change in their heart, the root of sin. However, I also mentioned that although we may desire our hearts to change, the power to enact that change does not lie within us. Understanding our limitations, God provides the strength to those earnestly wishing to transform their hearts, a concept the Bible refers to as grace. The term grace encompasses a broad range of meanings, but simply put, it represents anything God gives us without requiring anything in return. Among the various forms of grace God bestows, there's a specific mention related to salvation, found in Ephesians 2:8-9, which states, "For it is by grace you have been saved, through faith, and this is not from yourselves, it is the gift of God, not by works, so that no one can boast." This passage conveys that God does not wish for us to remain in a state of sin, but desires for us to be saved. Knowing we lack the power to achieve salvation on our own, God grants us the grace to be saved without cost, and this gift can be received by those who believe in their hearts. It emphasizes that salvation is not a result of our efforts or toil, but is a gift from God, given freely without expecting anything in return. The reason for this grace being freely given is to prevent salvation from becoming a source of pride, ensuring that no one can boast about it, as if it were a qualification or ability they possessed to avoid arrogance. God's grace, which aims to transform our hearts, is dispensed to different people at different speeds, quickly for some and slowly for others, depending on their character and personality. But the underlying principle remains the same for everyone. The process of transformation through God's grace begins with a change in our knowledge, leading to a change in our hearts, and ultimately results in a change in our actions. The transformation of knowledge, emotions, and will is essentially the transformation of a person's character. Through such transformation of character, one experiences salvation, is born again, and sees a change in life. This is the true salvation that the Bible speaks of. Furthermore, this transformation doesn't cease upon receiving salvation, but continues until the end of our physical lives, moving towards growth. This ongoing process is referred to as living a life of faith. The reason a believer may not live up to their faith is due to a failure to grow in knowledge, heart, and actions according to the correct principles of God's grace. Instead, they might live by incorrect knowledge or attitudes, engaging in actions that do not reflect their relationship with God. Therefore, for our hearts to truly change, the transformation must begin with a change in our knowledge, specifically understanding what God has done for our salvation. As your guide, I aim to convey His knowledge of what God has done for our salvation. I hope that the teachings I share will lead to a transformation in your knowledge and emotions, prompting a change in your life and guiding you towards true salvation.
구독, 좋아요, 알림 설정 해주세요. Subscribe, like, set notifications.